Hi, everyone. This is Connie Thanasoulis of SixFigureStart. Welcome to today's special guest feature where we're featuring Dick Vitale. Dick Vitale is an American basketball sportscaster, but he's so much more. He was a former head of the Detroit Pistons and later went on to ESPN to be the legend we really know of him today. He coached the Pistons for the NBA in the 78-79 season, then joined ESPN, which at that time was a fledgling cable network, and certainly grew as Dick work grew throughout the season. On September 5th, 2008, he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame as a contributor to the sport. He is a graduate of Seton Hall University, and he later earned a master's degree from William Patterson University. Dick Vitale is married and has two daughters, both of whom attended the University of Notre Dame, and he's very involved with that university as well. So welcome, Dick Vitale.
Well, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your kind comments, and I'm really proud to be with you here and doing this session. But I've been a very blessed guy. I've been a very lucky guy. Probably the most important thing in my life, as you mentioned, Connie, is my family. There's nothing greater than family. You can have fame, fortune, have dollars, but if you don't have it with people to share with that you love, it means zilch.
You're right. You're right. Thank you. Well, let's get right into some questions we have because you're going to add such a great perspective to our listeners. You have a natural enthusiasm and passion for what you do. People know you for the colorful remarks that you make during the game. Did you always have that passion and enthusiasm? Where did that come from?
You know, I think a lot of it came from my home life. I really do. I think my mom and dad instilled in me about work ethic, a sense of pride about what you do, and to be passionate about what you do. All my life I've tried to utilize energy and enthusiasm in everything I do. I just did a number of corporate events where I do motivational speaking, and I talk to the people. I think it's vital to have the 3 E's of life: energy, enthusiasm, and an excitement for life. And if a person has a sense of pride about themselves, and I like to break pride down to P for perseverance, R for respect, I for intelligence, D for desire, and E for enthusiasm. When a person has pride about themselves, they're going to be passionate, they're going to be energetic, they're going to be enthusiastic about whatever they're trying to attain. I've often defined winning very simply. Winning is the ability of an individual in pursuit of any goal or dream to do your best. And if you do it each and every day, Connie, with spirit, with enthusiasm, a lot of beautiful things are going to happen in your life.
You're right. What do you say to those people who are struggling, though, who for some reason cannot pull that enthusiasm up to where it needs to be? What advice would you give to them?
Well, I would simply say you got to always look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. We all have problems. We all have dilemmas in our life. I remember losing my eye as a youngster. I thought it was the end of the world. I remember getting fired by the Pistons. I was like a boy, a ball, a dream. 1970, I'm teaching the 6th grade. And 7, 8 years later, I'm coaching in the NBA. And
wow.
Between them, I had stops at Rutgers, at the University of Detroit. And beautiful things were happening. And all of a sudden, bam. But it's how you handle adversity. If you want to be a champ or be a chump. To me, the champ is the person that can handle tough times, that can handle adversity. You don't roll over. Everybody's going to have some tough times. I don't care who you are. They're going to happen, whether it be an illness, whether it be a divorce, whether it be economically. There are problems that really rise in one's life, and you have to be able to attack those in a positive way. I've often said you got to think positively, you got to have faith, and you got to have dreams and chase those dreams. I try to start every day, Connie, by scribbling on a piece of paper some goals that I want to attain for that day. And at the end of the night, I challenge people, look in the mirror and simply say as you're going to bed, because the mirror really tells it all. And if you can look straight at that mirror and do it with confidence and say, I have done my best today in pursuit of any goal I had. I've done my best. A lot of people, unfortunately, Connie, can't look at the mirror. They feel guilty. They feel ashamed. They have not done their best during the course of a day. And when I'm saying doing your best, I'm talking about making good choices, good decisions. Life is very simple. Make good choices, a lot of good things are going to happen. It doesn't mean you're always going to have success. Heck, I didn't have success in everything. There's a lot of things I failed at. But I know one thing. I get off the canvas and try to battle.
That's right. Good for you. That's a terrific lesson. You know, I've hired thousands of people. I've been the head of staffing at various organizations like Merrill Lynch and Citi, and I always gravitated towards the candidate that was enthusiastic and passionate, even if they had less experience, even if they had the lesser credentials, because those were the types of people I wanted to work with, and I felt that those were the people that were going to do their best. So
yeah,
it sounds like we agree.
I believe it. I have a very simple formula. I shared it at the Hall of Fame induction speech that I had given. And my formula for success that I believe in is passion plus work ethic plus good decision making in your personal life equals win in the game of life. Great.
We also tell our clients to troubleshoot. If you've made bad decisions in the past, that doesn't mean you can't change it. You can improve your reputation and your brand just by continuing to try and having that integrity to do better.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I think that people can make adjustments as one gets older, gets a little mature, has responsibilities, accountability, whether it be a job situation, whether it be family. I mean, you're a dad, you bring in a child in this world, you have a responsibility, accountability for that. And you have to be that role model, not some athlete. You have to set the table at home. And that child has to look at you in a way and say, wow, I'm proud of my dad because he's good people. I was very proud of my mom and dad. They were uneducated. They had a 5th grade education, but they had a doctorate of love. And I watched their work ethic. My dad never missed a darn day's work. He'd come home, he'd press coats in a factory, come home, eat, would sit at the dinner table, and then from 6 to 12, he'd walk the mall as a security guard. But I admired, I respected him, and I would match my dad and mom with any Harvard graduate as the kind of people they were. They were all about love. They were all about family. I learned more at my dinner table about life skills than any class I ever took. And I certainly advise people to get an education and get those classes. But I learned about love. I learned about loyalty. I learned about adversity. I learned about family. I learned about togetherness. I learned about respect. I learned that at my dinner table. And that's where really I had such great admiration for my mom and dad.
That's great. And I've read that, so I admire that. I want to switch gears to another question. You transitioned from one job to another. You were a coach, and then you became a broadcaster. And you were kind of kicking and screaming. You weren't going to jump into the broadcasting role, but you did. A lot of people listening to this want to change from one career to another. What advice would you give them?
You know, don't be afraid to fail. I think a lot of us, what we have is a fear of failure, which is probably the biggest ruination for so many people. They fear failure, so what do? They take the easy way out. They don't attempt it. Well, I was feeling that way. You know, I got fired in the NBA, and all of a sudden here comes this network. Never heard of it. I mean, ESPN sounded like a disease, man. I was running with ESPN. And then here it is. I did their very first game 32 years ago, DePaul and Wisconsin, the first major college game ever on the network. And today I'm so proud to be a little spoke in that big wheel that ESPN has become. You just never know what can happen in your life. You got to try things. If you don't try it, I mean, you're not going to find out. So I would simply say attack it with all your vitality, your spirit. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you gave it a shot.
That's right. That's right. Now, you've overcome some significant hurdles in your life. You mentioned before you lost the sight in one eye, but yet few people even know that. How do you not let anything like that stop you?
You just can't. I mean, what are you going to do? You have two choices. You can roll up and battle and try to be the best at whatever you do, or you can fold up and feel sorry for yourself. I mean, a lot of people have a lot worse than I have. I just was with a dad here about 10 minutes ago prior to us doing this session who lost their little child in a battle against cancer. A beautiful little girl. Gorgeous, who I happen to know. And I watched that little girl go from battle with cancer to where she was blind to where she ultimately was paralyzed. And then the final was that she passed away. And I'm very proud that we, with the V Foundation and my Dick Vitale, we raised $1 million to try and keep her name alive. Her name was Peyton Wright, to help other kids. But my point is that my eye is nothing on the scale of what people have to face. I mean, I got one eye and I can do what anybody else does. I get people that call me now who have lost their eyes and ask about it, and I simply tell them, you can be what you want to be. That's what my mom and dad always stressed to me. Don't feel sorry. People have it worse than you. You can be somebody. Mm-hmm. My mother used to have great advice. She's always telling me, Richie, never call me Dick, Richie, don't ever believe it can't. Because my buddies would always tell me, you can't be a college coach. You don't know anybody. You never played the game. And I didn't listen to them. I listened to my mom, and I listened to my dad. And if I didn't, I wouldn't today have said I've been on the Bill Cosby show, did a top 10 list on David Letterman, written a number of books. And today, would you believe this? I can't run. I can't jump. I can't shoot. I got a body by Linguini, and I'm in 10 Hall of Fames.
Dick Vitale, I can't thank you enough for your time to speak to a Hall of Famer, to speak to someone who really helped build ESPN to where it is today, and to speak to someone who brings so much joy. I mean, your colorful remarks, my husband says them now, baby, when he's watching the games. He has a lot of fun. So you're a terrific guy, and I thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Connie. And like I said to the people that are listening, chase your dreams, have your goals, have a plan, and the most important scenario, it's easy to write a goal down. It's the commitment and the plan to make the goal become a reality. So commitment. Have a commitment. I always ask people, when I tell my sons-in-laws, my one told me I'm going to be a doctor when I met him at Notre Dame. And I said, oh, really? That's great. What is your commitment to be a doctor? And then he showed me a plan that he had about working and volunteering, going to the hospitals, working in doctors' offices. That's a commitment. The same with an athlete. It's easy to say, I'm going to be a great player. Oh, really? What is your commitment? I remember my daughter said, I want to get a scholarship to college for tennis and my academics. And I would say to them, okay, Terry, Sherry, what's your commitment? Well, the commitment was, we'll get up at 6:30 in the morning before all the other kids are doing anything. We will work on our stroke technique. We'll work on jumping rope, agility, condition for an hour before school. Why? To get the winner's edge. You always want, no matter what you do in life, the edge on your competition.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to get a cheapo, baby, a timeout, and I got to run, Connie. I got to run.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your tips.
Thanks a lot, Connie.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.